Hi, it's me David, and I'd like to welcome you to Life with Parkinson's. For anybody new, thanks for tuning in. I hope you consider subscribing. For everybody else, thanks for coming back and watching another episode. We're back at my friend's place, Pine Mountain Railway, for the weekend. Just trying to relax and enjoy life a little bit. My plan was to document everything I did the whole weekend, but it just didn't work out, so I'm just giving you a bit of a tour of the property and filming at different locations, just to share some of this with you guys, so hopefully you enjoy it and burn some of your stress off as well. The squirrels sound like I'm intruding on their property, so I think I'm going to move. Sorry guys. I hope I'm getting them. A pair of them are rather upset that I've intruded, so we'll find another spot to continue. Man, you won't believe how far I had to come to find a quiet spot. Those two squirrels set off about 6 or 7 others, and I've come quite a few acres to get away from them. I guess they thought I was bad news. What I was talking about earlier was stress in my life. I don't know how many of you struggle with driving, but at this point in my life, driving is getting very difficult. Like when it's like rush hour traffic and there's cars all around you, I don't know what it is, if it's your brain has trouble keeping up with all the cars stopping and going around me, or if it's just a reaction thing, but when there's not much traffic on the road, I'm okay. It's just when like going back and forth to work one day a week is very hard, and I don't really want to give that up. And you know, driving to where I'm at now, it takes like 2.5 hours, but boy, it's a long trip, and when I get here I'm tired, I gotta lay down. So I'm hoping I can get a deep brain stimulation soon to help with the problem. The Movapo pen that I have, that I'm using, is really helping a lot, but it does have its limitations. It doesn't solve all the problems, but it does allow me a lot of freedom and movement, and for that I'm very grateful. If you're enjoying this content in the beautiful great outdoors, I ask that you hit the like button. That is the best way for others to find this video who are looking for it. Thank you. I have to do a voiceover here because I'm filming by this beautiful creek, and I'll show you the creek while I'm talking, but I'm just not used to filming outside, and I just didn't anticipate how loud the creek was. What I was kind of saying here was that sometimes we just need to get away. You know, if we do the same thing day in, day out and get stuck in a rut, everything about our lives can seem routine, and that routine can bog us down a little bit. I know with Parkinson's, if I don't do something different once in a while, if I don't push myself as hard as possible and just push a little bit more, where I totally wear myself out, I can recapture that feeling of accomplishment. And to me, that's important, to know that I can still do things. And being in nature, somewhere as beautiful as this, it just really helps me reset myself in life. There's a few reasons why I'm up here this weekend. Number one is to relax. Number two is to try and find the elk. There are quite a few elk here on my friend's property, and he lets me hunt them, so I'm very grateful. And the other is also to relax. As many of you know, my son died a few months ago, and it's been very hard to process and to deal with. See the optometrist shortly after his death because I felt there was something wrong with my eyes. And there was. The optometrist sent me in to see the eye specialist, who said I need to avoid stress and steroids. Well, I'm not taking any steroids, so I don't think that's a problem, but I'm like, hey, my son just died. I'm dealing with Parkinson's. It can all be very stressful. He's like, I'm sorry, but to protect your eyes, you gotta watch out for your stress level. And so here I am, and I'm doing it. As many of you know from other videos, I have a little pet bird, a conure named Kiwi, and I love that little bird. One bird that's adopted me out here is a stellar jade that can mimic a hawk. I've tried and tried and tried to get that hawk sound onto some film, but this bird just won't let me. But I got here about 2 days ago, and I was walking around. I hadn't seen my bird yet. It spotted me in the forest, and it started yelling at me like ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. And it followed me back to camp because I've been feeding it nuts and stuff that it stores up for the winter. So now I have a bird when I go on vacation with me. It's really funny. One time I was elk hunting up in Fort St. James with some friends of mine. and we were hunting in this area where you could only get in and out by boat. So we had one of those 3 or 4 person boats. We'd gotten it out late in the day. We decided to take half of it back with us and head back to camp and leave the other half for the morning. So we did that, loaded the boat, got ready to go. Pretty much just as soon as we shoved off, this big storm came up out of nowhere. The boat starts filling up with water and we're getting driven around and we really have no idea where we are. This situation's getting pretty sketchy. I'm just trying to steady the boat with an oar. One of my friends is like bailing because the water's coming in from the waves, and my other friend was driving the boat trying to keep it steady into the waves. And it's getting to the point now where it's like, okay, we're not sure if we're gonna make it. So one of them yells at me, see how deep the water is with the oar. And I dip the oar into the water, it's like 2 feet deep. The wind drove us all the way back to the shore. So we just pulled the boat back up on the beach. We weren't sure where we were at that point. The storm didn't last long, maybe an hour. Then it stopped raining, so we made a campfire, dried out our clothes, and spent the night in the forest. And these are the types of stories I tell my kids. Don't tell your mom what happened. But you know what? They tell her anyhow. You know, there aren't many places that we can go these days and enjoy nature like this, just as it was intended to be. Beautiful, green, full of colors, beautiful rays of sunlight coming through the trees. Me, I'm just so fortunate to be able to have somewhere to come like this and relax. I've really learned a lot this weekend about filming out in the great outdoors, especially about sound. So I gotta do another voiceover when I say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment below or tell me about a story of your adventures in the outdoors. Thank you for coming with me on my weekend away. But I just want to thank everybody for watching and taking this journey with me together. Thank you, have a good day, and goodbye.